Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Friday Hangout. Sorry for starting up 1 minute late here. We have a beautiful late summer day here in Sweden, actually. As always, I'm sending to you from the middle of nowhere. So, guys, welcome on board. Happy to see you here. I hope you had a good week. It's really been a very intensive one on our side. Sadly, not all good stuff, and sometimes we need to talk about problems as well, which I will brief you on. But also good things, and we made a lot of progress on some things as well. So, as always, I'll tell you a little bit about what's been going on this week, and then we will proceed to questions. As I told you last time, we were waiting for the court to do an approval on the next step for the unicorn network listing. And we were told, frustrating enough, on the 20th of September, we were told that the second person to sign off was back on October 4th. That was 2 weeks out. And obviously this was supposed to happen that day, which was Monday. Come this Monday, we called them, we called the court on Tuesday, we called the court on Wednesday, we called the court on Thursday. And they keep saying that, yes, we will send the decision electronically today. And it is still not done. So we are obviously extremely frustrated with this because the project needs this stamp to continue. And it is a teeny weeny thing we're waiting for. But as you know, not much we can do. We are as pushy and as annoying we dare to be without really upsetting the court. So that's something we have to deal with. And obviously it is it's very irritating. It's as we have also a lot of marketing lined up. We need this to happen so we can get on with press releases. But rest assured that we continue to push and push and push. The people in the court probably hate us by now. Second thing is that we are waiting for the announcement on the LAM change. And there has been a discussion about modifying the liquid asset management parameters in finishing the program in some ways. And this depends on a new trading model that we are launching. So we have intentionally had to postpone it. I will tell you why in a second. And this is also the same thing with converting EM to liquid. So I know a lot of you are asking about that, and that is the reason. However, all the token transfers are out now. That is running smoothly, so that's nice. So I think I told you on the last Friday update that we were going to launch a new external sales for World Liquid Expo to bring in liquidity. We had actually done that the week before. Now, this is a very big organization, a sales organization that works with, it's not network marketing, they are affiliates. And they work with investment clubs and angel incubators all over the world. Now, this is a new partnership. There are different parties involved here. And they started promoting World Equity Expo, and in the middle of the whole thing, as it was growing, the partners had an internal fight. I have been wearing a blue UN helmet, running back and forth, trying to get everybody to, talk to each other and work it out so we can continue. And it's literally been day and night politics and calls and stuff like that. And this is sometimes a very frustrating part of my job because you have a lot of people like you guys waiting for something, and I'm held up because I need to talk to a lot of people. Then you agree with a range of people, and the first one changes his mind, and you have to start all over again. And this is sadly part of my job. And this week has been particularly messy. I have literally been 8 to 10 hours for real every day on the phone, just on this. Now, it hasn't been resolved yet, to tell you the truth. We are trying to resolve it. I am right after this webinar, I have a new session, and I believe it will be resolved. And this means that with a little bit of luck, this can resume next week. But again, it is not done yet. So in managing expectations, I need to say that this is something that we're waiting for. And I am very optimistic about the external liquidity because we have many factors coming in now. We have many sales organizations that want to work with us. So sadly, we need to, again, focus on the core, because if the core is not working, then we can't bring volume in. So we are working on that. That's really all I can say now. And I have very good hopes that that will work out well. This does obviously not affect the staking programs, which are working very well. As we're on the staking program, we showed higher results for September. The the power staking program increased to 3.8%, I think we published, from the 2.8 that was before. So very good numbers. Again, go back and see what's in the system. And it's running like clockwork. Same thing with the other staking products. We have taken a strategic decision to make a big change to the self-staking, and that is that we're going to create it into a mortgage-like program. It will basically have the same benefits and numbers, but it will be much, much simpler to use. So we will do this after we fix the liquidity in World Equity Expo, because the staple products are really long staking and power staking. So we will make it much easier to use. We took that decision last week when we were looking at the product, because we have huge interest in using it, but we have found that it is simply a little bit too complicated for people to set up and use. Now on to something fun. We did a little competition where we wanted to give away a free listing on World Equity Expo. This is again to start the machine to show everybody how it works. I'd love to have our members in with their own businesses. So I asked people to publish their projects. And we didn't have much response to it, to be honest with you. And I'm happy to work with these. We actually had 2 projects that I love both. And we had a letter from somebody who didn't know the rules of the group, which I want to address right now. And then we will look at the competition. And this is the following. So, and I think this is very important to address. Let's see if I can do a screen share. Where are we? I am going to share my screen with you. So here we go. So here we go. So I am in WhatsApp, and we put out the post here about the competition. I think I can even have one of these things. Let's see here, spotlight. There we go. Okay, so we put out our post about the competition. Now, we did get a lot of interesting things back, but I did get an open letter. And first of all, this was obviously against the group, the forum rules. This should be, and we're happy to get feedback. It should just be in another thread. However, I actually want to use this as the basis for something for us to discuss. And that is that some of the opinions on our staking products. Because the point here is the frustration in using both fiat currency and YEM in combination in the staking products. Now, the message I have been trying to get through from the beginning is that YEM is a long-term project. The stability of YEM is being regulated in a very good and strategic way by the YEM Foundation. They're doing a fantastic job at doing that. And like any, excuse me, like any authority or a government or a regulator, you're not always popular with the decisions you make, but you have to make sure that you take care of the whole mass, everybody. And this is what they are doing for you. They are doing an amazing job in doing that. Part of that is also that they are regulating the access, they are not regulating actually, but the exchange liquidity is partially regulated by how much you can convert to liquid and so on. And in doing so, in order for us not to disrupt YAM, we cannot actually use YAM for the trading products itself. What we do is we use the fiat component of the package to trade. But what we do is we do that in a business where we have put your YAM in to get more equity. So the YAM is being used for an equity side, which increases the profit from the fiat trading. That is the combination why this is so valuable. So we could not do one without the other. We could do fiat only, which would not be as profitable, but we could not do YAM only right now. But what we can do with YAM is we can exchange YAM for equity, which we do, and which we will continue doing in our platform. It's very important to understand this. So over time, this means that the value and the liquidity in YAM grows and grows and grows and increases. So this is how you do it. And I'm sorry to say there's no other way around it for us at this point. So I think this is a very good and sensible approach. So, like I said, this person writing this letter is frustrated about this not being able to use YAM only, but we are bringing a solution. And I believe that we have actually brought you a fantastic solution that works. Nobody is actually forcing anybody to use their YAM only for anything else. I believe in YAM in a long time run, especially with all the stuff that's been happening. If you look at what happened just this year, guys, look at how YAM and the usability have increased. What will happen in just another year? So again, I understand the frustration. I don't agree with the points, but I love for this debate to be, because this is important. We need to be able to vent these questions between us. We're a club, we're a team, and obviously this leads to a better understanding. So this is why I wanted to address this. Now, we had two projects that came in, and I will talk about them. This is, by the way, not going to be voting on today, and I will tell you why. So first one that came up was Fit Now Club, LLC in Tampa. I love Tampa. I used to live in Florida, so that's great. And they have done a perfect application here with all the stuff. They did struggle a little bit with their video, but other than that, it's great. This is the kind of application we want. Love that. Very, very good. So that was the first one. And then the second one is further down here. Oviera project. I hope I pronounced that correct. Oviera. This is as I can see, mainly a charity project, but with commercial aspects on it, which I love. I think this is a great thing for us to have in the system. Now, sadly, the PDF with the information was not, the link is not working, and also we are missing a lot of basic elements in this application. However, I love the project. So we have these two. There was only two that filed, but what I have decided to do, and this is the great thing about being a decider, you can actually, in this case, I'm the decider. I want to post both. So there is not going to be a voting because there's these two, but we will do both. But what I want to do is, and I'm going to look at the dates here. They are still trying to coordinate this because this team is actually in Australia, the Oviera project. And the other guys are in the US. So we are, timing wise, somebody needs to throw themselves on the sword for a late evening or an very early morning. But the plan is to do a webinar. We're going to coordinate with them and invite them for a live session to present, Dragon's Den style, present to you guys. You can ask your questions, and we are going to do a vote on them that we feel that they have provided us with all the information needed. And the plan is to do this next week. So as soon as we have the times from them, we are going to post this and invite them. And I'm going to invite two fellow, not jury members, but consultants to also participate in feedback in a constructive discussion about this. So I'm looking forward to doing that, and I think this is part of the fun starting here. So that's going to be cool. So only 2 projects posted. I was hoping for more, but I love the fact that we have these 2, which are beautiful, and we're going to look at that. So guys, it's all from me now. I'm going to look through the question list here, and now I lost my screen. There we go. So I'm getting some points here. Sorry, I'm just reading through the questions here so we see what we start. Thank you so much, Shibuta. Very kind of you. Thank you. Okay, so yes, to clarify, one question here was, did we start to trade on World Equity Expo on Monday? Well, actually, we did start before, but we didn't get the liquidity in. So I'm accounting on liquidity next week. Jorge, yes, that is correct. So on that is great. So on Monday we can actually start being more active inside the liquidity. In the World Equity Expo points. Okay, so let's see here. Lots of very good questions. So I'm just going through this. Okay, so another question here. Is it possible for me to transfer liquid to a relative's EQUSD Expo account? This means that for gas can be made to the rear while expanding pending. Well, yes. So if I understand your question correct, you are actually asking whether you could transfer liquid to another person inside World Equity Expo, and then you do your transfer all your tokens out to save gas. Yes, you can do that. That's not a problem. Okay, so what else do we have here? Thank you, James. Appreciate that. Thank you. A recap here, question, how far are we with the Unicorn Network listing? So we are still, like I said in the beginning, waiting for the court order or the court decision. In Germany, a court stamps certain corporate documents. That's why. So it's not really a legal court like that, or it's a legal court, but it's not an arbitrary court, arbitration court. So, and sadly, because of COVID or whatever they take a long, long time. We are literally waiting for that stamp. Then we can do a press release on the reverse takeover taking place. And that is it. Then we are good to go. And that means that we can issue the new stock in, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks, and we should be done. So it is super frustrating that this has not been done yet. So another question, when is P2000 dropping? Yes, good question. I have postponed it week after week after week because I want to get all the basics right with the token deliveries and everything, because last time we did the drop, it was unfair to many people that missed out. So I just want to make 100% sure that everybody's on board who wants to be on board. Can we move from liquid asset management to Dragon Global and World Equity Expo? Yes. So once you will be able to move it out there, you will be able to move it over there. Oh, sorry, I am still sharing my screen. Interesting. Thank you for that. Good thing I'm actually working, isn't it? Let's see here. So let's see here. And as you can see, I'm a complete idiot when it comes to switching that off. Anyhow, there was no secrets there. It's just that I'm funneling through all the questions. So let's see here. On that note, I was actually on a conference call where somebody was sharing his screen. Well, let's say that on his screen, he wasn't having family photos. And everybody was texting this person, trying to explain that, look, you check your screen, it's not really good. And that happens in these days. Anyhow, it was nothing secret anyhow. So you can see how I work through these questions. So what will be, this is a very good question. What will be the revised system of trading? Will it address the problem of liquidity and YAM dumping? Correct. You're spot on. That is exactly what we're going to do. And the reason that I haven't been able to lock it in is that we have a lot of things moving around the system. So, and the model. So I can't lock it in until I resolved all the other stuff, the politics. That's why. Here's an interesting question. When will the YAM be licensed by Sandbox for the Sandbox operation by the Central Bank of Bahrain? I honestly don't know that. I know that the conversation is going on and it's very exciting. I have spoken to a couple of the officials there on really that Dan brought me there to have that discussion from Dragon's perspective, but we Dragon are not involved in that process, but I know that these talks are going on. So that's very, very exciting. Now I'm going to scroll up. I had a very long list of questions that are very good and very well structured. I just want to read through properly here, if you bear with me for a second. Joao, this is a very good question, or several questions you're asking. Joao is asking about the Safe Zone and Dragon Global's affiliation and sponsor lines. And we are actually doing that. So in our system, we are not actually tracking any affiliations in World Equity Expo. So you don't need to care about that. But in Dragon, we are tracking the same way. However, we have not built the tool that shows to be. So because we've been a little bit overloaded, that's what we're doing. So yes, the point is that you will have the same sponsor lines. Then you have another question here. In regard to the 20% extra paid in LAM with the profits there. That is correct. So what is happening here, the 20% added, and we will clarify this in the same, is on the profit calculation. So it is the profit calculation that is actually happening here. And like I said, once we can get this out, our ambition, and one of the things we're working on here, is to possibly extend LAM because there might be a reason to do that. And this is actually the reason we're postponing this. So again, bear with us for a little longer on that one. Okay, so another good question here. So the coins we're getting from LAM payout, like Likquid and Nixie Gold, are, well, and there's a number of questions. Unknown, not registered in CoinMarketCap, not listed on external exchanges. Useless. Well, okay, so let's address that. Unknown, they are not unknown, far from, but obviously that is depending on your definition on unknown. Nixie Gold was on CNN and CNBC. They have been advertised quite a lot. I wouldn't say they're known as Bitcoins or anything even smaller than that, but they're definitely not unknown. Likquid has had more than 30,000 people in using them as well. So I wouldn't say unknown, but of course, what we are doing is we are a startup. Let's be honest about it. We are starting this market, we're starting the model, and in relation to others, they are not as known. So, but I don't think that is a relevant point. Second question was, they are not registered in CoinMarketCap. That is correct. And we will do so when they qualify for that and we see a use. But registering CoinMarketCap is very expensive. And at this stage, there's no point in doing that. And it doesn't really affect much, but it would be positive if we list on external exchanges. And the next question was not listed on external exchanges. Well, actually, World Equity is an external exchange, and we are dual listing several of these on other exchanges right now, especially one, but I'm not able to disclose that yet. So that is something that is in the works as well. And the final point, useless. Well, I'm it's a very blunt and uneducated way of addressing it. Ixagold is an asset token, and Likquid is definitely useful, as you guys can see. So again, it's a too wide question to actually address, but I would absolutely not approach it like that. But like I said, always happy to discuss these things. I have one last thing. World Equity Expo is off. No, it should not be off. I don't think we have a problem. I will actually send a text message now to our tech team, but I don't think World Equity Expo is off. But I will check right after this webinar, guys. Everything should be fine. I was running with it earlier today. Anyhow, so that's all for me for today. I am glad you guys were here. Thank you for joining. Oh, sorry, one last question. Angaman, why are you not able to use Bitcoin to complete Likquid to participate in power staking? Yes, you are. You can do that. You can use any crypto, because then inside Dragon, you can just convert that, and that is okay. Super. So guys, I wish you a fantastic weekend. Thank you for being here today, as always. I hope you guys get some time off work or whatever you do. Take care of your families, have some fun, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care.